Hello everyone, today we're going to be fighting the bronze Automaton. What he does is, he creates these two little minions, but they're not very little, they're actually quite bad, because they have a life of 50 HP. What they do is they take some of your cards away, so essentially you're not going to be able to use that card. You like this one? What is he taking? He's taking the flame barrier, okay. What is the other one gonna take? Oh, he's not taking the card. Okay, wait, just an interesting trick to know is that you can get the card back at the exact moment when you kill them. What did this one take? Took impervious, okay. So you have to keep that in mind. The moment you kill them, you get the card back. And what this main bronze automaton does is that at some point he's gonna have a really high attack of like 50 damage. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you killed, if the orb took something like impervious from you like it did to me, you want to make sure that you kill them on exactly the turn when the bronze automaton is doing the highest damage. So I have 3 energy now, so I could kill both of these minions, but then I'm gonna get impervious into my hand and into my discard pile, and I can't control when I take it next. Like, you can see that my deck of cards is fairly small, so there's a pretty big chance I would get it anyways, but if you have like more cards, like 25, 30, something like that, it's gonna be hard for you to get the card you need at the right moment. So instead of using the whirlwind immediately, I'm gonna use the iron wave on the big one first. Now I'll use the whirlwind because I want to make sure that the orb survives and that I'll kill him next turn and not this, well, next turn. Whenever the bronze automaton does the really high damage, because that's the time where I kind of need, okay, right now, when I need the impervious card. Okay, so I'll use the thunderclap. See, and now the impervious card is in my hand, so I can use it to protect myself. So that's why it's super important to know when can you get these cards, because otherwise you hit me for 51 and I would have very low defenses. So keep that in mind when you're kind of fighting against bronze automaton, that watch out for what card he is taking from you, and make sure that if it's a defensive card, and good defensive cards that you need, take it when you need it. Don't take it too soon. Don't kill the orb even though you can in advance, because it can kind of lose the game for you, okay? And another good tip is, after the big attack, the bronze automaton is stunned, so this is kind of time to take a breath, use a good power if you have one. Cards like Inflame, that sort of thing. I don't really have anything like that at the moment, so I'm just gonna be using my other cards, but you know, disarm him if you have a card that lowers his strength, because he is increasing his strength quite a lot, so disarming him would be fairly nice. And because his attacks are fairly high, like you see 2 times 13, then the 51, you want to defend a lot. Like if you have something like a barricade build, that can be quite good for you. And the minions have a very high HP, so this is if you have cards like Cleave or any cards that kind of do damage to every enemy. Like to all enemies, that's very useful again when fighting against him, because you want to kill the orbs. It's important. Okay, so I can kill him next turn. And yeah, a good idea is to make him vulnerable if you have like something that increases your strength, because as you know, the vulnerable does 50% more damage, which is especially useful if your original damage is high enough. And you see that he did the buff again, so I'm hitting me for 57 second time. It's because it took me too many turns. I don't know exactly how many turns it is, but the game doesn't do these super high attacks that often, so it took me a while to kill him, but sometimes you can be faster and you don't get the big attacks twice. So this is another incentive to kill him quickly, if you can, of course, because otherwise he'll just hit you again. But I think the most important thing when fighting the bronze automaton is really to calculate when you want to kill the orbs to get this good defensive card or good attacking cards at the right time when you need it. Like the attacking card, a good time for that would be when he's like right before he does this big attack, when he's sort of buffing himself. That's a good time to use a bludgeon or some attacking cards that takes a lot of energy, so you want to make sure that you can, or carnage that takes energy of 2, and you use something with 1 energy to kill the orb. So lower the HP of the orbs to something like 7, 5, 8, so that you know you'll be able to kill it in 1 turn when you need it. Okay, so that's it. I'm just gonna kill him. And I hope you enjoyed this episode, and then you'll be able to destroy the bronze automaton next time. Bye bye!